If you're coming to Thailand for the first time in 2025, there's a lot of things you need to know before visiting. Every year, tourists come from all over the world and end up making the exact same mistakes, costing them time and money. Now, 4 years ago, on my first trip to Thailand, I was guilty of this too. But now that I've been living here for over 1 year, I'm going to be giving you my most essential tips and things that I wish I knew before traveling to Thailand for the first time. So, let's get right into it. So one of the biggest misconceptions I had before traveling to Thailand for the first time was that everything was going to be cheap. All over social media nowadays, you'll see people showcasing how cheap Thailand can be. You know them videos showing what can you get for $1 in 7-Eleven? This is what a $1 meal looks like here in Thailand. But the first time I came to Thailand, I spent £4,000 in 10 days. That's around $5,000. The reality is, Thailand can be as cheap and as expensive as you make it out to be. And when you're here on holiday for the first time, it is so easy to spend money. If you're going out, you're having a good time, you're eating at nice places, then you're essentially going to be spending the exact same amount of money you would spend in your home country. And on top of all of that, bear in mind, you're on holiday mode. Living here and being on holiday mode are two completely different things. So here are my biggest tips for saving money when you're in Thailand. The first one being eat local. I can't stress this enough. Street food stalls, markets and night markets, local restaurants. At these places, you can get delicious food for as little as $1 to $2 per meal. And bear in mind, these spots often have some of the best tasting dishes in the entire country. If you're eating Western food every day and eating at Western restaurants, it's going to cost you 5 to 10 times the price of these local spots. Also, here's a pro tip. Make sure you check out the shopping mall food courts, because in my opinion, they are excellent. It's a little bit more expensive than street food and local restaurants, but you have seating, you have aircon, you have a massive variety of food. And if you're new to Thai food and want somewhere comfortable to eat with a lot of options, then definitely make sure you visit the shopping mall food courts. Also, taxis are going to try and overcharge you as a tourist. So make sure you download ride-hailing apps like Bolt and Grab, where you can order taxis for a fixed price. And if you really are on a budget, then you want to avoid staying at the big name hotels, and instead you want to opt for locally owned hotels and guest houses. Now, me personally, I've stayed at both. I've stayed at 5-star hotels costing $150 a night, and I've stayed at local guest houses costing $10 a night. And whilst the luxury hotels are absolutely amazing, the guest houses are still very good, because 90% of the time they're extremely clean, the owners and staff are extremely friendly, you have Wi-Fi, you have aircon, and you pretty much have everything you need. So make sure you check them out, because it will save you a lot of money. Now, my next tip is to get an eSIM. One of the biggest headaches when traveling is finding a SIM card or dealing with expensive roaming charges. But now you don't have to worry about that thanks to Airalo. Airalo is an eSIM app that lets you download a digital SIM card instantly, so you can stay connected in over 200 countries and regions worldwide without wasting time and money abroad purchasing a physical SIM card. Just download the app from the App Store, then choose the destination you're traveling to, purchase your eSIM and install it. And as soon as you land, just activate it and you'll be connected just like that. On my most recent 3-day trip to Singapore, I used Airalo and it was a game changer. I had high-speed internet as soon as I landed in Changi Airport without needing to find a store or wait in line. If you're traveling soon, make sure to download Airalo and use my code BeardedTravels3 for a $3 discount on your first eSIM. The link is in the description. You'll save time and money and avoid the hassle of finding a SIM card abroad. Seriously, this is one of my travel essentials now. So don't get stuck without data and grab an eSIM from Airalo before your next trip. Now, whatever you do, do not leave bad reviews online, because here in Thailand, it can get you in serious trouble. See, in most countries, leaving a bad review when you've had a disappointing experience is no problem at all. But here in Thailand, they have extremely strict defamation laws. And businesses can actually sue you if your review damages their reputation, even if it's 100% true. There's even been some stories of foreigners coming to Thailand, leaving a bad review, and then being arrested and even put in jail for it. I completely understand it is very tempting to leave a bad review when you have a bad experience, but guys, when you're in Thailand, just let it go. It's honestly not worth it. Now, one thing I didn't realize when I visited Thailand for the first time was how different the culture actually is compared to the West. And it's very important you understand this, because the last thing you want to do here is disrespect someone and do something that doesn't make you look good or even angers the locals. So the biggest cultural difference that you need to understand in Thailand is the face culture. In simple terms, Thais tend to avoid confrontation and do not like like it if they're publicly embarrassed or made to lose face. It's extremely big here in Thailand. So raising your voice, calling someone out in public, or even complaining will not get you better service or better attention. In fact, it will often make things worse. See, Thai people are very prideful people, and you see them being respectful and smiling all the time. So if you start getting angry or being too loud, it's often seen as extremely disrespectful and you essentially losing face. There's a reason Thailand is called the land of smiles. So instead of being rude or complaining loudly or even getting angry, instead just try and be as polite as possible, not call someone out in front of others, and just smile. Next tip, a very important one, don't just go to the tourist places that you see all over social media. You've probably heard of all the popular places such as Phuket, Pattaya, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and don't get me wrong, they're all very beautiful and worth visiting, but they can also be extremely overcrowded with other tourists, especially if you go during the high season. I've traveled all over Thailand to some places that you will rarely find any tourists, and in my opinion, those places are the best places to visit in Thailand. You'll get a much more local experience, you'll get to try some of the best local food you've ever had, the attractions will be a lot less crowded, and you'll get a much more peaceful holiday. So here are some of my recommendations on places that still get tourists so it's friendly for first timers, whilst not being massively overcrowded. First one, the beautiful island of Koh Samet. Koh Samet is in the province of Rayong, not too far away from Bangkok. You can just get a 3-hour bus and ferry from Bangkok and you'll be there. Now, I would personally recommend coming here on a weekday to avoid the crowds. And in my personal opinion, it's one of the best and most beautiful islands in Thailand. It's quite a small island, so you can hire a motorbike and pretty much explore the entire place. It has stunning beaches and bays that you can often get to yourself away from other tourists, as well as nice hotels, delicious local food, and just incredible scenery. You've also got a little bit of nightlife that isn't too crazy like some of the other islands, and when you're here, make sure you watch some of the fire shows on the beach. Another beautiful island that I would recommend is called Koh Yao Noi, and it's just off the coast of Phuket. Think of it a little bit like Phuket before mass tourism took over. Now, it's not a massive island, but it's beautiful, it's less crowded with tourists, it's home to some stunning hotels, cafes and restaurants, and you can rent a scooter and explore the entire island in under 1 hour. It's absolutely perfect for a relaxing holiday. Now, you've got to be aware of some common scams when you're traveling to Thailand for the first time, because so many tourists fall for these every single day. And the most famous of these scams is the 20 or 50 baht tuk-tuk scam, where a tuk-tuk driver will approach you telling you that he'll give you a full city tour for the entire day for only 20 or 50 baht. It seems way too good to be true, right? And that's because it is. And so many tourists fall for this because they think it's such a good deal, when in reality what will happen is that they will take you to a bunch of suit shops and jewelers where you essentially get pressured into buying things that you don't want that they'll get a commission for. It is a massive waste of your time and money, so whatever you do, do not fall for this. Another scam that I mentioned before, but I'm going to mention it again, is the taxis. Now, when you're a foreigner in Thailand, the taxis will approach you, charging you double, if not triple the price that it should be. Because legally, every single yellow taxi has to use their meter. A lot of them tend not to and will try and agree a price with you before you start driving. So if you're going to use these taxis, then make sure to ask them to turn on the meter before you leave. Otherwise, I'd personally recommend you download the apps Bolt and Grab, where you can order taxis for a fixed price. Also, pro tip, make sure you check out the motorbike taxis, which you can also order on Bolt and Grab. Now, they might be a little bit dangerous, especially for first timers, but if you're in a place like Bangkok, it will get you through the traffic so much quicker than a regular taxi will. So if you want to save time and you're a little bit of a thrill seeker, then make sure to check out the motorbike taxis. One of the most asked questions that I get asked, especially on TikTok, is how is the weather in Thailand in this month or that month? Because ideally you want to make sure you're coming to Thailand at the right time of year so you can get the best weather possible. So let me break it down for you. Thailand has 3 main seasons: hot, cool and rainy. From around November until February, it is the cool season, where for Western standards, it's quite hot, but for Thai standards, it's the coolest time of year. And in my personal opinion, this is the best time of year to visit. Temperatures can range from about 22 to 30 degrees Celsius, obviously depending on where you are in Thailand. However, the weather is pretty much perfect. It's hot, but it's not boiling hot like it is in the hot season. But bear in mind, because of the weather, this time in Thailand is the busiest time of year. It is essentially the high season that attracts the most amount of tourists, so it will be a lot busier than it is in the rainy season. Next, we've got the hot season, and when I say hot, I mean boiling hot. This is from around March until May, and temperatures can range from about 30 to 40 degrees Celsius depending where you are in Thailand. See, right now we're in March and it is boiling hot, so I'm not looking forward to how hot it's going to get in April or May. But don't get me wrong, this is still a very decent time to come to Thailand. You've got the Songkran festival, the Thai New Year, which in my opinion is the best festival in the world. It essentially is a massive water festival festival that the entire country celebrates. And honestly, experiencing Songkran last year was probably one of the best things I've done in my life. It is so much fun, and I believe everyone should experience Songkran in Thailand at least once in their life. Just know around this time of year, the heat can get to you, and sometimes it can be unbearable, especially in the afternoon where it's the hottest during the day. And lastly, we have the rainy season, which is usually from around June until October. Now, contrary to popular belief, it actually doesn't rain every single day during the rainy season. And more often than not, you'll get days, if not weeks, with absolutely no rain. But in the rainy season, when it does rain, it pours. The rain usually only lasts a few hours, but it will pour down like crazy. And that's why around this time of year, you get the least tourists visiting Thailand, which actually makes it the cheapest time of year to visit. But guys, just know Thailand's weather is extremely unpredictable, and it heavily depends on the region and place that you're visiting in the country. I would personally say all year round is good to visit. However, if you're only coming for a short trip, then I would recommend avoiding the rainy season, because the last thing you want to do is come to Thailand for a short time and then get caught in a bad spell of weather. Thai people will absolutely love it if you make an effort to speak some Thai. So I would advise learning just a few simple phrases before you come, because trust me when I say, even if you just know how to say hello, thank you, and how are you, it will get you so far. See, the local Thai people are extremely proud of their culture and their country. And even if you just know a little bit of Thai, they'll be impressed and they'll actually be happy, because you're making an effort to learn more about their culture and language. And say you're at a restaurant, a bar, or a hotel, and you try and speak a little bit of Thai, you might even find yourself getting some better service, and even making some new friends and connections that you never would have made just by speaking English. Because the reality is, 90% of foreigners that come to Thailand don't even make the effort to learn any of the language. Now, I'm not fluent in Thai, but I've learned quite a bit, and it is so helpful to be able to speak a little bit of Thai when you're in Thailand. So take the time to make the effort, and trust me, you will not regret it. Next tip, cash is essential in Thailand, especially if you're a tourist or coming for the first time, because the chances are you don't have a Thai bank account and you can't pay by scan. And the reality is, most local places such as street food stalls, market stalls, small local restaurants, and a lot more won't accept card payments. And if they do, then they often charge a 3% or a 5% extra fee. My best tip is to bring your home currency to Thailand. Don't exchange it in your home country, because you won't get a good rate. And then when you land, most likely in Bangkok, you want to find a super rich currency exchange. These exchanges give you the best possible rates. And then what you want to do is exchange your currency here in Thailand. And if you're exchanging large sums of money, then this small difference in exchange rate actually adds up to a large amount. Obviously, you can still use ATMs. However, bear in mind, on every single ATM withdrawal, there will always be a 220 baht fee, no matter how much or how little you take out of the ATM. Therefore, if you do want to use ATMs, I would highly recommend you take out large sums of money so it doesn't get too expensive. Anyway guys, those are some of my most essential tips for first timers coming to Thailand. I didn't want to make this video too long and boring, so let me know if I missed anything in the comments. And if this video helped you, then please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video.